Hello everyone, welcome to the Warehouse Series. So before I get to today's video, I just want to give a couple updates. One is the surveys that you're seeing on YouTube. These surveys are very important to me. I hope that you guys take the second to fill them out when you see them. I'm hoping to go for a couple months, and I'm also hoping that at least 40-50% of the subscribers participate in this. Guys, that is going to strongly dictate on how I move forward with this channel. So I do not want to sit there and put forklift videos out, twice a week if that's not what you guys want. So, this channel is for you guys. So whatever you want to see is what you're going to get. In the future, I'm looking to possibly split these channels into two and have Tim reviews everything in the Warehouse Series. But I got to find the YouTube guidelines to see if I'm even allowed to do that because I got monetized on both of them being together. So if I have to keep them together, I keep them together. Another thing I want to say is that I got lighting coming. Right now, I threw my daughter's ring light up. I forgot she even had the thing. So in the last couple videos, I used that, but it's still showing shadows. So I got lights coming. I got a wireless mic coming. I got some more things coming to help improve this channel. So I told you I would do that once I get monetized, and I am sticking to my guns on that. I'm going to keep making this channel better. So with that being said, guys, if you're not a subscriber, if you could do that, hit the notification bell, leave comments, give me a thumbs up, Discord in the description below if you want to click that link, and let's get to today's video. All right, guys, so the first thing I want to do is just show you another one of my big dairy pallets. I'm not going to talk about it. You guys, I've talked about dairy pallets enough, just to show you the similarities. So if you work in a dairy warehouse and you want to pause and take a look at these pictures, that's what they're there for. So I'm going to play those right there. And, a lot of coffee mate on this one. I actually probably could have wrapped this pallet, and up front it was a little unstable because of all the coffee mates, but it is what it is. In the last picture, the coffee mates on top, they were drops. I had to go back and get them. All right, guys, so that's real quick. You can pause, look at that. Let's go on to the next pictures. All right, guys, so the first picture I want to talk about is this one right here. This is a completed pallet. Someone took a picture for me at work, and this is literally waist high. So the first thing I want to talk about is that case over where the arrow is pointing. Not only is that a case that should not be in the corner because it's lower, but it's also a weak case. I always keep in mind, the pallet has to go onto the truck and ride 100 miles probably, maybe even sometimes even more than that, and get unloaded. What's that case going to look like by the time it gets there? He got a butter on top of that, he or she got a butter on top of that, and a coffee mate on top of that. So it's possible this case is going to be totally crushed by the time it gets to the store. Maybe the wrap, when it gets wrapped, it's going to hold it up a little bit so it doesn't, but you never know. The white lines, they did it perfect. I don't mind column stacking if you have to, especially if you're a newer person. They got those the Fairlife, and they got the coffee mate in the middle, keeping those problem cases, I call them, in the middle when you don't have a lot of them. Perfectly done. The column on the left of that with the craft singles on top, I got no problem with that. It's all weight and it's pointing towards the middle of their pallet. They did a great job. They actually did a good job on the other side. If they would have just maybe switched something around and put that Fairlife on over there, and then drop the coffee mate and put that box, that white and brown box on top, it would have been perfect. Now let's go to the other side of the pallet where you see that black arrow. This is what I just got done saying to somebody in the Discord last week. If it doesn't fit, don't put it there. I don't get this. If you put a case on and it's sticking off, that's probably a good 10 inches at the bottom case, and probably another 12 inches, and you're just working your way out. Guys, if it don't fit, don't put it there. Move cases around, especially on your base. If you have to move a case to turn that long ways, then do that. But this here, I would imagine this got destroyed getting put onto the truck because, guys, there's sometimes, they fit tight. Different trailers are different sizes, and some trailers are tighter than others. And hopefully this one on a bigger trailer, because that whole entire side of that pallet is going to get demolished. You're going to have damaged product, not to mention they're liquid, so you could probably have a spill on the truck. It's just a problem. If it doesn't fit, don't put it there. All right, guys, so on this one right here, something I also mentioned on my last Discord video, all those yellow slashes are cases that have no business, in my opinion, going this way unless you're building a full layer. They should be facing towards the middle of that pallet all the time when possible. And then my blue mark all the way up the side of the pallet. When you build, and to me, they're building either they're building in the middle of the pallet, because they're putting those big cases in the middle of the pallet. Then you're left with nothing but small cases on the outside corner. This is what happens when you do stuff like this. I don't care what section of the warehouse you're in, or if you're building a pallet with all small cases, there's always going to be bigger cases. All right, they're not all the same size. There's always going to be a bigger case. When you get that bigger case, stick it on your corners and face it towards the middle of that pallet. If you have light cases, stick them together. Okay, just I talk about this stuff in my videos all the time, but I wanted to show this because I have somebody on a different shift. We get a lot of cross docks on night shift. So thankfully, I got some guy taking some pictures of dry goods, and we're going to start taking pictures of freezer pallets coming over so I can hit up different products. So, but this right here, guys, face towards the middle of your pallet. Remember that diagram I showed on that Discord photo? That's how I stack my pallets, even when I'm in dry goods. I do the same thing. Bigger cases on the corners, smaller cases on the middle, keeping cases, light cases together when possible. All right, guys, this picture here, I have no idea if this is the same pallet or not. It doesn't matter because we're looking at the opposite side now. Once again, the orange X is in the middle of the pallet. Big cases that they're just throwing on there to throw them on there. And then you got a little case off in the corner, and then you just start having no room left, so you start stacking lettuces upright. I'm not pointing you out either, the person that I keep bringing up with the Discord photo. I'm glad you're sending me these pictures. I'm just trying to get a point across. That's why I just want to keep reference back to your one that you did with the lettuces, is that keep those big cases on the corner. Now, they kept their big case on the corner on the other side with that the purple bracket, but you're sticking how far out? So now there's all lightweight on top of that box. I believe they're tissues, Puffs Plus or whatever they are, guys. That box could have been turned upright. So I would rather you turn that box up on end because you had nothing but light stuff. And this is what is important to know what's coming up in your order. If I get that Puffs Plus and I'm getting more canned goods, maybe I don't, well, I'm also towards the top of my pallet too, so I could probably get away with it. But let's say I was a little bit lower. I put the Puffs Plus on there, it's sticking out. I'm going to turn this upright. If I have more canned goods coming, then I don't want to put that upright because I might crush it. But if I know I have all light products, all these, Northern Quoted paper towels and stuff coming, then I could turn it upright. I could turn it on end, and it's not going to make a difference. I'd rather have it up on end than sticking that far out on the side. And then the yellow bracket I have down at the bottom of this pallet, they could have easily took those two pie fillings or whatever they are down there, those canned goods, and they could have put them side by side facing backwards. So it could have been a long case and then two cases facing going towards this way. They could have kept them side by side. That way they would have eliminated that gap. And then they could have just kept going straight up until they met with the top of those two brown boxes, and they could have probably tied it in right there. So I wanted to point out this photo too. Guys, be creative. Start moving cases around on your base. You do not want gaps on your base like this, where you're just, and you don't, there's no need for this either. So please keep sending me your photos if you need me to do this, but big cases on the outside, imaginary lines, keep those corners nice and strong with small cases on the inside. Let's go on to the next pick. All right, guys, and once again, I didn't draw on this one. I showed this one on the last Discord pallet. I said this was this person that was building this pallet in front of me. They only been there for 2 weeks. This is their second week on this pallet. So their first two layers are great. I mean, they built a nice first two layer. I just want to talk about a little bit more. First two layers are great, nice base. And even the third layer, no problem with the third layer. But look what they did with the fourth layer. Those two Sargento cheese boxes, I would have turned them towards the middle of the pallet. I would have started, now that's where I would have started facing those cases towards the middle of the pallet and building from the corner in. Those long boxes in the middle, those are Dannons, they're like this long. They're perfect corner cases. I get so excited whenever I get two of those and I got a nice flat corner because they are so perfect to tie a corner in with. So if you're in a dairy warehouse and you have a nice flat corner and you get these long Dannon boxes, tie in a corner with them. Do not stack them straight up. Use them together if you possibly can and tie in a corner. They are perfect boxes for tying in corners with. So yeah, once again, guys, this is what happens when you build from the middle of the pallet out and not from your corners in. So that's my last picture for today. Guys, some of this stuff over time might be repetitive. It's maybe same type of video, but different pictures. That's okay, because repetitive is what teaches people how to do things right. So I'm going to stick with this, and we're going to keep going with this. I am going to have more video coming of me filming in the warehouse. Someone requested a wet room. I'm going to be getting that in. We're in the holidays though, so I'm hoping I can get it in. It doesn't help whenever you go to an owl and you're throwing 20 of something. No one needs to see that. So I might have to wait until after Thanksgiving until things die down a little bit, which this is going to be the last video until after Thanksgiving. So guys, I hope you have a great Thanksgiving, and I'm going to keep the content coming. Join Discord. I will see you guys later. Have a great day.